Imagine you are lying on your soft, comfortable bed on a quiet, still night. Everything around you is perfectly peaceful. Yet in that very moment, hidden inside cracks in the walls, beneath the foot of your bed, or even directly under the pillow you rest your head on, an army of tens of thousands of creatures is moving silently. They make no sound of footsteps, no roars or snarls, but they hold a power strong enough to bring a perfectly healthy human body crashing down in just a few short hours. We commonly fear venomous snakes, tigers and leopards, or other large wild predators. But did you know that there exists a species whose combined total weight across every individual on Earth outweighs the entire collective weight of the human race? They are present everywhere, from dining tables in bedrooms, all the way to the sterile operating rooms of hospitals. Today, I will not tell you about the diligent, hardworking ants from fable stories. Instead, I will shine a light on a dark, unspoken side of these creatures, on the tiny assassins, capable of inflicting agonizing deaths, terrifying infectious diseases, and even earth-shattering explosions you would never have imagined. Are you completely certain that you are truly safe inside your own home? Join me as we uncover the answer, right here and now. The danger of ants does not come from their size, but from their chemical weapons and their unseen presence. Let's start with a name that makes many people shudder: the red imported fire ant. Have you ever accidentally stepped on an ant nest in your yard? The stinging sensation, like being burned by fire, is just the beginning. Inside each tiny bite is a dose of venom containing solanopsin. For a normal person, it's a swollen welt, but for those with allergies, it's a delayed death sentence. Within minutes, this toxin can cause anaphylactic shock, a rapid heartbeat, and a tightening of the larynx that prevents air from entering the lungs. Try to imagine the helplessness of a parent watching their child fade away, their face turning blue, all because of a small ant nest we carelessly ignored during a picnic. This is no longer a story about an insect bite. It is the fragile line between life and death. But if you think that simply avoiding their nests means you are safe, you are mistaken. There are gentler species of ants crawling on your dining table right now: the household ant and the pharaoh ant. Many people have a habit of brushing a stray ant away and continuing to eat their half-finished pastry. However, the medical reality will send a shiver down your spine. Ants are omnivores and have no concept of hygiene. Those tiny legs have just traversed garbage dumps, rotting animal carcasses, or even waste in the toilet. Scientists have discovered deadly bacteria on their bodies, such as salmonella, which causes food poisoning, staphylococcus, which leads to blood infections, and even the bacteria responsible for tuberculosis. They are like ambulances driving in reverse, transporting pathogens from the filthiest trash heaps directly to your bowl of rice. Even more frightening, ants target the very safety of the infrastructure we live in. Would you believe that a creature less than 5 millimeters long could blow up a building? The raspberry crazy ant has a strange quirk. It is attracted to electrical currents. They crawl into circuit boards, electrical outlets, and electronic devices. When one ant is electrocuted to death, it releases a pheromone that calls tens of thousands of others to come avenge it. Piled up ant bodies form a bridge that causes short circuits, leading to fires and explosive outages. A sturdy house could collapse. A modern power grid could be paralyzed, all starting from an uninvited trespasser. Folks, ants have existed for over 100 million years, surviving multiple mass extinctions to become masters of survival. We cannot and should not completely eradicate ants, as they still play a certain role in the ecosystem. However, love and respect for nature do not mean allowing them to invade and threaten the living space of your own family. To protect yourself, the first survival tip is to cut off the food supply. A drop of honey, a crumb of discarded cake is enough to attract an entire kingdom of ants. Cleanliness in the kitchen is the sturdiest barrier. Second, learn to seal the borders. Regularly check and seal even the tiniest cracks in walls and windows. Finally, handle the problem smartly. When you spot an ant nest, don't just instinctively step on it, because that could make them scatter and run deeper into hard-to-reach corners. Use biological control methods or consult pest control experts to eliminate the problem at its source. Raspberry crazy ant is the standard common English name for Neelanderia fulva, the species referenced here. Pest control is used as the natural equivalent of the Vietnamese phrase Truyen Gia Ite Du Phong in this context, referring to professional services that manage harmful insect populations rather than medical health care. The most dangerous enemy is not the strongest one, but the one that makes us let our guard down the most. Don't let their small size fool you. Protect your home from the smallest details, from the creatures that seem most harmless. If you find this information could help someone, don't hesitate to share this video. Thank you for joining me on this journey to discover the terrifying secrets of the tiny world. Wishing you and your family always peace and safety. But the story of the danger of ants does not stop at invisible pathogens. If you think your wooden house or expensive electronic devices are safe, then you probably have not heard of carpenter ants. Unlike termites that eat wood to survive, carpenter ants only dig tunnels to build their nests. They use their steel-hard mandibles to gnaw deep into the support columns and floor joists of a house. The danger lies in this. They destroy from the inside. From the outside, the wooden beam still looks solid, but inside it is a hollow network of tunnels. There have been families who watched their roof collapse just after a heavy rain, simply because they ignored the tiny piles of wood dust that fell to the floor every day, the only trace of a silent invasion. And if material destruction is not enough to make you fearful, let's join me to explore one of the most terrifying horrors of the natural world: army ants. In tropical regions, they do not build fixed nests but move like a living waterfall. When millions of these ants march, they create a terrifying rustling sound that can be heard from far away. Any creature that cannot escape, whether it is a lizard, a venomous snake, or even tethered livestock, will be surrounded and dismembered in an instant. Their strength does not lie in the individual, but in the collective intelligence of the swarm. They know how to link their bodies together to form bridges to cross water channels, and form nets to surround their prey. This is the harshest lesson of nature. Before the power of unity in numbers, even the strongest becomes weak. More specifically, there is a species of ant that is becoming the nightmare of the modern technology industry: the raspberry crazy ant. Why do they have such a strange name? Because they move chaotically without a clear path, but their target is extremely clear: electronic devices. This species of ant has a peculiar passion for electricity. They crawl into computer circuit boards, electrical outlets, or even the control systems of factories. When one ant is electrocuted to death, it does not die in silence. It releases a type of martyr pheromone, inciting millions of others to rush into that same death trap to protect their comrades. Piled up ant bodies form an electrical conducting bridge, causing short circuits and fires, paralyzing entire telecommunication infrastructure systems. An explosion of a low-voltage substation or a $1,000 computer turned into a burnt-out piece of metal, all sometimes starting from a single tiny ant's mistaken signal. The scariness of ants doesn't lie in their direct attacks on us, but in how they alter our living environment. They turn food into poison, transform our homes into traps, and render modern devices into useless lumps of metal. We live in a world where their presence is almost absolute. You can lock your doors to prevent thieves, but no lock can stop an army of ants from passing through the tiniest cracks in the walls. My friends, we have just journeyed through a haunting exploration of the world of creatures we usually pass by every day without a second thought. Ants have existed for over 100 million years, surviving mass extinctions to become masters of survival and strategy. The truth is, we cannot, and should not, eradicate ants entirely from this planet. They remain an important link in the ecosystem, helping to decompose organic matter and aerate the soil. However, love for nature does not mean we allow ourselves to be careless about biological risks. The danger of ants lies not in their size, but in human complacency. To truly turn your home into a fortress against these tiny assassins, we need to establish practical and scientific shields starting today. Dear friends, the most fearsome enemy is not the strongest one, but the one that makes us let our guard down the most. The natural world always hides paradoxes. Where tiny appearances hide devastating power, and where familiarity conceals unimaginable dangers. I hope that after these 20 minutes of this video, you will no longer look at the ants under your feet the same way again. Protect your home with knowledge and careful attention. If you find this information can help your loved ones and friends, do not hesitate to share it. Who knows, a small action of yours today could prevent an unnecessary tragedy tomorrow. Thank you all for accompanying me until these final moments. Stay alert, stay safe, and we will meet again in future exploration journeys. Goodbye.